620 Bunker Hill Avenue. You know where that is?
Behind Bunker Hill, a couple blocks north of Central Station.
So, what do we tell the wife?
Play it by the book. There's no stiff yet, so let's see how it plays out.
Straight over.
Could be a car theft gone wrong. Make Black drive somewhere lonely, then give him a tap.
But why leave the car?
Well, obviously someone got a little heavy-handed.
It's the wrong way around.
Well, how so, genius?
Where is Adrian? If you've gone to all the trouble to steal the car, and it goes wrong, you leave the body behind, not the car.
You got something there, folks. You read about the guy on the crossing yesterday?
We'll be taking the next right.
No, what happened?
Over on Lincoln Avenue. This guy's driving along and his oil light comes on. He stops the car and gets out. He pops the hood and...
He's on a rail crossing.
Oh, you got it. He's got his head under there checking the oil, and the Southern Pacific freight slams into his car doing 90 miles an hour. The car came to a rest more than a mile down the track.
What a pointless waste of life.
You'll get plenty of blood and guts and mindless stupidity working traffic, folks. And who needs a Second Amendment when we'll give a goddamn fool the license to get behind the wheel of an automobile?
Straight through.
If it's a kidnapping, why leave the victim's ID? If it's a murder, why leave the car? The evidence doesn't add up.
Free lesson, Phelps. Evidence will only get you so far. You ask me, the whole thing feels hinky as hell.
What I wouldn't give to have your powers of intuition, Bukowski.
Don't worry, kid. Keep watching the master and you'll get there one day.
Let's go introduce ourselves. You talk to her, Phelps. I'm no good at this shoulder to cry on stuff.
Just a minute.
LAPD, Mrs. Black. May we come in? We have some bad news, and we'd rather discuss this in private.
I'm Margaret Black. We can discuss this in the living room. Please come in.
Your husband drives a blue Lincoln, Mrs. Black?
That's correct.
The car has been found abandoned, and I'm afraid there are signs of foul play.
I knew something was wrong when he didn't come home.
We believe your husband may be injured. We found a pipe on the scene with blood on it.
Oh, no! My poor Adrian!
Does the name Insta-Heat mean anything to you, ma'am?
Yes, it does. We've just had a new water heater installed.
Whereabouts, Mrs. Black?
Just outside the kitchen window, at the side of the house.
I'd like you to try and stay calm and remember everything that you can about last night. My partner and I are going to take a look around. When you're ready, we're going to have some more questions for you. Is that okay?
Of course, officer. Anything to help secure my husband's safety.
Well, let's check the place out. Come on.
Kavanaugh's. So who brought this home? This was only recently installed, not 2 days ago.
Maybe it's time we took a look around outside.
So the pipe missing from Mr. Black's heater is the same one that killed him. Huh. Seems like the assailant is a little closer to home. A used ticket to Seattle and a suitcase gone missing. Someone couldn't wait to get out of this house. This must be Adrian's. Stenzel, so the glasses are a match. To my Adrian. This thing gets more and more interesting. Maybe Adrian was a patron. R&I should have an address. Separate bedrooms, separate pictures. What gives here? Found a receipt in the trunk of your husband's car for a live pig. This receipt was made out to an F. Morgan.
A pig? Adrian runs a tool business. That would be Frank Morgan. God knows what he's up to.
What makes you say that about Morgan, ma'am?
He's the foreman at my husband's plant. A very shady character. I've told Adrian he needs to keep his distance from the staff. They're always out drinking together.
Your husband frequents Kavanaugh's bar?
How did you know that? Adrian practically lives there after work.
So Adrian spends a lot of time there.
Up until recently, he's been away in Seattle a lot on business.
What's about the photo of Adrian in the bedroom?
What is there to tell? It's from his most recent business trip to Seattle.
What's the purpose of Adrian's trip to Seattle, Mrs. Black?
He was meeting with some distributors. Adrian said that it was important to make contact interstate if he was going to grow his business.
Did your husband tell you where he was going last night?
All he said was he was going to meet Frank for a drink.
Nothing out of the usual, then.
Well, he came home early from work. He never comes home early. And he went out early, too. He normally never leaves for the bar till about 7.
I think you should come clean with us, Mrs. Black. Your husband is missing, and after our search, I'm willing to call the circumstances suspicious. Can you account for your movements last night?
You're not accusing me, are you? What an awful thing to say. I was here all night, of course, waiting for Adrian to come home.
Is there anyone who can vouch for that?
Well, no. I was here alone. I cooked Adrian's dinner and waited, but he never came home.
Husband wearing his glasses when he left here yesterday?
Yes, he just bought a new pair.
Go on.
I kept telling him to throw those old ones away. He tried to repair them with tape. They looked terrible.
We'll keep you informed, Mrs. Black.
Please do, Detective.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Kavanaugh's bar.
Certainly, Detective. One moment. Kavanaugh's Bar, corner of Aliso and Hewitt, south side of Union Station.
Thanks, ma'am.
Jesus, I'm glad to be out of there.
Mr. and Mrs. Black don't seem to have the happiest home life.
He's too scared to divorce her, and she's too much of a shrinking violet to throw him out. If this hadn't happened, they could have stayed miserable together forever.
You think she could have killed him?
She sure as hell doesn't seem to type, but stranger things have happened.
He wants a.
Hey, I know you.
No, you don't.
You looking for someone?
Does the chicken come with fried tomatoes?
You know Frank Morgan?
Sure. Frank's your regular. He's a loner in the back.
That cherry pie was deep.
Frank Morgan?
Who's asked?
Cole Phelps, LAPD. I understand you're a friend of Adrian Black.
Yeah, I know him.
Are you aware that he's missing?
No, I hadn't heard that. Tough break.
We found Black's car abandoned in a freight depot, covered in blood. You know anything about that, Morgan?
Hell no. I'm sorry to hear that. I like Adrian. He's a good boss.
Please, don't tell me you actually believe this jerk-off, Phelps.
I think you were in on it, Morgan. You drove down there, and you let Black have it.
Ooh, I'm a bad boy. That the best you got?
When did you last see Adrian?
Hell, I don't know. I had plenty to drink last night. Things are a little sketchy.
Lying, Morgan. What happened to Adrian?
I have 10 guys who say I was here the whole night. You think you can prove I was there?
You signed your name and left it on the slaughterhouse receipt, Frank. We couldn't have you colder if we found you curled up in the back seat.
All right. I helped him. He wanted it to look like his car got hijacked. He's fallen for some dame up in Seattle, and now he's got to go start a new life with her. Goddamn fool.
Where exactly is Black holed up?
No idea. I think he took off for Seattle.
Out of your shtick, Morgan. Spill it, or we take you out in the alley and we knock it out of you.
He's holed up at my place. He's waiting for some money to come through before he blows town.
An address?
It's an apartment house at the corner of Temple and Figueroa. Apartment number 2.
I think that's all. Thanks for your help, Morgan. We appreciate it.
Hey, I'm just glad I could help. I love cops.
Cuff him, let him go. It's up to you, Phelps. There's no way I'm writing this idiot up.
I can't decide between the tuna fish and the chicken.
You got Morgan's address? Let's get over to his apartment.
I've met some pretty good liars in my time. People who sound convincing because they actually believe their own bullshit. The type is clever, hard to catch out.
Frank Morgan is not one of those people.
No, he is not.
Message from Technical Services. Blood found in the abandoned Lincoln at the PE Freight Depot is not human. Repeat, not human. Compositional analysis reveals swine as the most likely match.
Roger, KGPL. Time to reel this guy in, Phelps. Well, let's check the place out. Come on.
Help you, gentlemen?
LAPD detectives, Mr. Black. You're under arrest.
Look, I'm really sorry about this. I never tried to hurt anyone. I just needed to get away from LA. I won't put up a struggle. Just let me get my things.
I knew it! Phelps, go after him. I'll try and head him off in the car. Remember, the gun is the last resort.
There's no point running, Adrian. Mr. Black, get back here right now. It's over, Adrian.
Stop right there, Adrian.
Why not just come clean with her, Black? Why the melodrama?
I thought it would be easier.
No, it just got a whole lot harder. Adrian Black, you're under arrest for conspiracy and fraud. We'll see what the DA has to say about wasting police resources on a wild goose chase like this.
You're gonna lose your wife, lose your job, and probably end up in the big house. I hope she was worth it, Adrian.
That turned out to be quite some case, huh? Adrian, what an idiot. You got an arrest and a clearance in your first case, and in fine style, too. Well done, detective. Efficient investigation technique, good public presence. You keep that up and you learn from Bukowski here, you could go a long way in this department.
You have any plans for Weekend Liberty, Jack?
My sisters have been working in Los Angeles in a bomber factory. They're coming down to visit. I'm meeting them at the station at 6.
Good for you, Jack. Are they cute?
They're my sisters, Hank.
Attention! Final inspection before Liberty.
Good job, Kelso.
Are we going somewhere, gentlemen? Full inspection. It had better be exceptional if any of you want liberty this weekend. Kelso, this carbine. The bore is dirty.
No, it isn't.
Are you arguing with me, Kelso?
Do what you need to do, Sergeant. You know the bore is immaculate.
Weekend liberty canceled. 2-day field drill. Clean this rifle.
No.
Do you know the penalty for insubordination, Kelso?
Jack, don't do it.
Forget him, Hank. He doesn't have what it takes.
Are you two finished? Are you going to clean this rifle?
No, Sergeant. Cole is right. I'm going to stop playing games and join a rifle company and fight the real enemy.
Your turn. Looks like the team's falling apart already.